Take-tastic. Let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another MrBetaByte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we're looking at the Sony double tape deck, model number TCW-E835S. And this has been sent in for repair by Ivan. Hi Ivan, hope all is well with you. I say repair, I think it probably just needs a service, but I can't remember, to be honest. I'm not sure he actually even ever really fully told me what was wrong with it, but if anything. But we have belts, so we've gone for DeckTech. There is actually a seller selling a repair kit, including pinch rollers. But I have also bought a whole load of pinch rollers, and so I've got pretty much all the common types, and I do have some if they're needed, but we'll have a look. I'm not necessarily going to change them if they don't need it, but belts, yeah, I'm going to change them regardless. Hopefully that's right. Apparently this is for this deck, for both decks on this deck. So that's cool. And I've also got these test tapes, or say test tapes. This is just a TDK Brilliant cassette, and I'm just intrigued to see what these are actually like. So we'll hopefully give this a test when we do a record test on the deck, and to see what these are like. These are currently on Aliexpress, and they're very cheap. They're under £2 UK, depending. They seem to vary in price quite a bit. And I tend to just add one to make up the shipping if it's a small order. But yeah, I'm just intrigued to see what they're like. So yeah, and I've also got some Sanyu. Do you get like a bit of a resemblance to something there? A Sanyu test tape. I've actually got a couple, and these are different thicknesses. So 18 micrometers. So this is the thicker one, I believe, and you can actually see the tape path as it's playing, providing you can take the door off or get vision to it. You can actually see the tape as it's going through the tape path. See how true it is. So we've got 18 micrometer there, and we've got 9 there. So test with the thicker first, then go to the thinner, just to check that everything is basically working as it should. Then I've got I think it's 1 kilohertz sine, 4 kilohertz sine, 8 kilohertz sine. So yeah, for various checks. So that's actually quite useful. 4 kilohertz. Don't think we've got a 3, which is I think what the manual suggests for this. So you can do the high speed as well. So you got 3 kilohertz normal speed, 6 kilohertz for high speed. But obviously we just use one of the others and double it. It's obviously 50 double speed. And then I've got this torque meter, which is basically just measuring the forward and reverse torque, mainly for fast forward rewind, but I guess you can also use it for to check playback take up, both forward and reverse. So that's cool. And then last but not least, I've got this cassette to use as a test cassette. So it's a brand new, I actually bought a whole load of these, very, very cheap. Obviously unsold stock. I'd be interested to hear your views on the sort of cassettes being embraced again. I don't think it's been quite as widespread as maybe records have been. And there seem to be an awful lot of cassettes that have been produced new, and not bought, and are just floating about very, very cheap. But yeah, I've specifically chosen this one because I've got 2 of these in the bundle that I bought. So yeah, it's quite cool. Obviously won't be able to play very much of it at all because copyrights, but you know, the same token, it's quite nice to maybe give it a go. So yeah, let's crack on. So let's just actually try the deck first of all, and yeah, so I'm getting nothing there. Oh, that's sounding pretty rough, isn't it? Yeah, so that's that side. What's this side like? I mean, I'd like to think it just needs belts, but we shall see. Dare I press play? Yeah, so that's not going anywhere, is it? So what's quite nice about this deck is they are identical decks insofar as they both have the ability to record, and they're both auto-reverse. So in theory, you can actually do a heck of a lot of recording with this. If you wanted to use like a longer cassettes, you could get up to 4 hours, couldn't you, with two C120s? That's pretty impressive. And there's Dolby, was it Dolby BCS Noise Reduction HX Pro? Yeah, it's actually a thing of beauty, this, isn't it? I was thinking it was a more basic deck, but it's not at all. 835, so it's quite a high-end tape deck. So I'm, yeah, really looking forward to this. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is take the top off, and we'll have a look and just see what's going on. Let's crack on. So I have downloaded the manual, and I'll put a link in the description to it. But looking at it, it's dated from 1998, 1999. So the actual copy I have is from 1999. But yeah, so that's quite interesting. So it's sort of very much of the time, isn't it? Quite a lot of integration. So surface mount on the back of the board, high density chips, transformer which is switched on the main side, so you've got mains here. It's worth noting, and it does look like if I take off the front panel, the decks will just pull off, so that's quite cool. They're on sockets, so that's easy enough. The problem is belts. I don't know how well you can actually see that, but that one's gone to goo and it's completely gone. The small belts are both intact, but it is the big belt that seems to have gone. The big belt I think is on this deck, but so they're very stretched, or it's disintegrated in a place that I can't see. So yeah, so I think the first thing to do is get these fronts off, and apparently these just lift up. They do. It's nice and easy. I do prefer, I mean, I used to just like try and work it out, but these days, because plastics are getting a bit brittle and as they get older, I do tend to like to get the manual if I can, and actually do it the way they tell you to do it, rather than start pulling and tugging and potentially break plastics off. So yeah, so let's get it on its side, and we've got the usual screws with the arrows. I think it is literally just undo that screw and unclip it, and the same on that side. So I'll do that. Oh, there's a screw there, and we'll see if that does the trick. if those need to come out as well. It's feeling very much like they do. And they're machine screws. The rest were self-tappers, like so. So these two are machine screws. Yeah, they must have to come out. They're screwing straight into the bottom of the decks. Let's try that again. I think what I'll do as well, there's ribbons on the top of each deck, so let's unplug those carefully. And there is also a large ribbon here, so let's carefully pull this out. System control. So let's try and get this off again. And just spotted another screw we need to take apart. Oh. I remagnetized my screwdriver. I've forgotten I'd done that, so it's a little bit more. Yeah, you can see there, look, it's pulling off, so that's cool. So I should be able to lift up the tab this side, give it a pull, and we should be somewhere near. Yeah, it's slowly coming away. So a couple of other things. So undo this cable management there. Then we've got the mains connector, main switch connector, and then this connector here. I'm still not using the manual, am I? Anyway, then we've got this connector here. Not sure what that actually is. Interesting. And we don't have the same on this side, which is sort of a bit interesting. I wonder what that actually is. Now we'll see. In the fullness of time, I'll probably forget to plug it back in, and then we'll find out. So yeah, let's continue to gently pull. And missed another connector, of course. See, if I followed the manual, this wouldn't be happening. So headphone sockets and the front control buttons there. That should come free. Excellent. So yeah, I'll move that out the way and we'll have a look at this. Let's crack on. Okay, so apparently the next thing I do, I think I'm going to need a smaller screwdriver, yeah, is undo the 4 screws. I think it's just 4, and that should drop the deck out from the front. Probably this screwdriver is going to do the trick. A bit reminiscent of the beaters, these screws, so they are self-tapping. Okay, so press eject. Told the deck end to do that, especially when you tip it back like I've just done. And this should, yeah, it does the same thing. Come undone. Where'd that come from? Oh yes, here. So there. Oh yeah, for the eject. Big old buttons, aren't they? Super. So let's put that up there. And let's have a look at these decks. So if I'm understanding this correctly, and this is where the manual is useful, it actually looks fairly straightforward to do. It looks far worse, because it's quite daunting when you see the whole mechanism like that, and the belts are right down in here. But looking at this, first of all, they give you claws, which is quite cool. So when you can put the belt in position, put around the claws, and then you can pop it onto the belt, onto the motor pulley once it's all back in situ. Put the square belt and put around the claws. So yeah, that's quite cool. But yeah, so we've got a screw there, and a screw there, from what I can see from this. So, well, let's find out. So there's a long screw. This has never been apart. You can tell by the crack of the screw when I undo it. So quite nicely, these screws are all the same length. They're very specialist screws, but they are all the same length. So this now apparently should come off. It looks like there's a screening can, well, there's some tape on the bottom as well, which I'm tempted to just cut, to be honest. It's that fibrous tape that tends to I don't know whether I had to do that or not. It felt like I had to. Right, so the whole deck's going to come out. So I've got washers on the pinch rollers, not on the pinch rollers, the cap stands even. Let's get those out. Interestingly, they are different, so that's interesting. I don't know whether I had to do that, but I'm doing it anyway. No, I won't. You don't need to take those washers off because it's going to leave the flywheels in place if this comes apart properly. There is a little clip there. Right, so that, I really saw that. So put it so it unhooks from there, put it round and lift it out. Oh gosh, that was so gooey. You see the belt has gone well and truly. You can sort of hear it, to be honest, when it first powered up. How do I get that off without breaking the plastic? Right, so pulling back. Yeah, I'm glad I took that washer off because that would have fallen apart. So pulling back and sort of out this way unlocks it. The other belt is actually, oh gosh, yeah, I say it's pretty good. It's not goo. So there we go. So yeah, that's clean. That's off. We've got a little belt there. So now I had a quick look on eBay to see if I could find any of these machines, to be honest, any of these decks. And one thing that came up, I think it's this gear is available as a replacement. I think they must do the same thing that they do on like Betamax machines, the Sony Betamax machines, insofar as I think the plastic can crack. I think I can get that out. Yeah, that is right on the brink of being goo. It's just really like right at the end of life. So we've got some grease on there, but that's cool. It's sort of sprung plastic. But we'll just pull this out. Thankfully, it does seem to be only on. I'll say thankfully, it doesn't really matter because we'll clean it up anyway. There's quite a bit of grease there, which I'll probably clean up and maybe apply some more. It looks pretty good. I'll see what the grease is like. Yeah, so that needs to be cleaned up. So I'll use a cloth, and I don't know what material this is. It's not metal. I don't know. Feels like some sort of plastic. But, you know, it seems to have more integrity than just a plastic flywheel. So I don't know. Interesting. So, yeah, I'm going to clean this up. Then I'm going to have to clean this. Oh, gosh. That is a mess, isn't it? Oh, it's cloth and isopropyl. I wonder how long this belt's actually been like this. It always feels like it's set on the flywheel. Like it's disintegrated and then almost hardened again in its sort of gloopy state. Seems to be some roughness on this. Quite what that's about. Just on the edge there. It looks like it's not cut very cleanly somehow. I don't know. Right, so it's almost tempting to drop the motor. I might do that, you know, because my concern is I'm not going to be able to get it all out. So let's unplug the ribbon. Yeah, that's one of my concerns, was that it's getting around the spindle, and I don't want that getting in the bearing. And it doesn't look, well, no, it hasn't, but it's pretty close to. It's, you know, well, thankfully I don't think it's been run too much. I was thinking of actually pulling off the pulley. But I don't know whether that's a good idea. I suppose we could give it a go. Yeah, there we go. So worth doing, just to check that there isn't anything that's gone. There's some on the shaft there actually, but it's not gone in the bearing. It's one of those things, even if it runs properly now, if there was contamination in there, how long would that last before it starts giving problems? So definitely worth doing, and it just means I can now give that a thorough clean. Luckily on the other side it doesn't look nearly as bad, but and just give that so much better clean. Okay, well that's a lot cleaner. That's not bad at all. Yeah, 14th of July 2000 as date code. So yeah, 2000. It seems like yesterday. But yeah, it's actually 25 years ago. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So tiny bit I missed there. Let's get that off with the glove actually. There we go. So get this back in the right orientation. I'm going to plug that in first, because then that will cause that to go in the right place. And then I'll put the... I was debating whether to put the pulley back on outside of this or inside, but I suppose it really matters as long as I can put enough force in it without breaking anything. It's fine, isn't it? Which I can. So there it is. It's a little bit of I didn't quite make it out. Possibly might have been me that did that with the scalpel. Those two lines there, very, very slight scratches, but there's also a scratch across it. But it's fine, there's no cracks or anything, so that's fine. Just make sure that's properly seated. Lovely. What am I going to do about this grease? Let's see what this grease is actually like. Oh yeah, it's fine. Grease is actually really, really good. I'm not even going to bother doing anything with that. That looks really good. It's lasted well. I'm going to take my gloves off because obviously I've got grease on them now. Grease and belts don't mix well. So there is actually a washer on the back as well, so luckily I didn't lose that, but I'm going to have to remember that when I take the other side apart, because I'll probably have to do the same thing. And yeah, you don't want to lose that washer. The spacing will be all wrong. So it suggests that there is a way to put this on. And it's pretty much a standard sort of method of doing it. So there the claws. So that goes round there. Has that actually gone in? Yeah, it has. Almost looks like it hasn't gone in properly. The capstan, but it has. Yeah, it's perfectly in line, so these are perfectly in line. But yeah, it just looks a bit weird. Partly because of the claws, to be fair. So those are those claws. Then we've got the square belt. So it says pull the square belt. Does it mean like that? Where does it actually go? So that there goes to there, that there goes to there. So that... Ah, yes, I understand now. I've done that wrong. So there's claws there. So claw. And that's where that will end up. So I should now be able to put this together, flick the belt off the claws, and yeah, we'll be somewhere near. Put it back so it's on the two lugs. And maybe, I don't know. Doesn't seem to be terribly happy doing it. There we go. And then pull that over. Oh yeah, you can sort of see. So claws, belt, pull that down. Claws, belts, pull that over. And that should be all good. So let's put these screws back in, because you want those in first. And secure. I want to put the belts. Don't want to free the belts and then put the screws in, because chances are things will not end up going very well. That belt on, and belt there. Now just slide it off. Gosh, that is really, really impressive. I mean, it's very simple, but it's impressive insofar as you can do that. That makes it really, it's very repairable, isn't it? I'm finding this with Sony stuff, like Sony audio stuff of this vintage. It is actually pretty repairable. For like let's put these washers back on. Really repairable. So, so the pinch rollers, I mean, they look, I mean, they've seen use. They don't look bad. I don't know whether I take them off and give them a good clean. That might be the way to go. You see the head's in, what's filthy dirty. But gosh, yeah. Don't almost looks scratched. Or whether I just clean them in situ. I'm tempted to just clean them in situ, to be honest. The less plastic I have to start putting about, the better. But yeah, we've got all the leaf switches there as well. But yeah, it's a really nice deck. I'm really very impressed with it. So yeah, I'll probably give it a dust out as well. I've got my super duster. Let's dust. Super. Okay, so I'll give pinch rollers a clean, squeeze some isopropyl and some cotton wool buds, Q-tips if you like, and I'm happy with that. But we'll test it. Obviously, we've got those cassettes, so we can have a look at the tape path as it works, as it sort of plays. But yeah, so onto the second deck. Let's crack on. So, deck 2. This should be easy now. Now we know what we're doing. So, let's find somewhere and get a purchase without breaking anything. That's the idea anyway. So I'm a bit confused about this screw because it's not actually into anything. Look at what's happened there. But yeah, we have some more belt issues, that's for sure. So let's get some more gloves. Not quite so much gone to glue. Go, even. And then we've got hours of fun. It's around both of them. There we go. Pull that off. And yeah, there's a washer there. I can see the washer just on there. Just about make it out. Great camera work. And let's see if I can just roll this off. Another washer there. So I'll do the same thing with this, with these. I'll just go make a clean. I won't show it. Good clean with isopropyl, and we should be somewhere near. I don't think I'll take the pulley off this one. I don't think there's any need to do that. As long as I can get this good and clean, I'm happy. So yeah, I'll get and do that, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so all good. So being careful. What's that? Being careful of stick a pencil mark the washer. Pop that one in. Just a little bit of residue there from a belt. It's actually in the plastic. Can't be. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, maybe. And then this one, I'll clean the shafts as well, like I did on the other side. Grease is good. Grease is excellent, actually. It's good graphite-based grease. Excellent. And belt. Same as the other one. So that's that belt, and then this one. And again, everything looks pretty good as far as gears go. It's a nice deck. Yeah. It's just about to go to goo. And put that belt on. And again over the claws. Like so. So claws, claws, Santa. Okay. Offer this back up. So let's just see what happens with this screw. Because when I did the other one up, it seemed to do up, but this one doesn't. So I wonder what's going on there. Oh, I haven't cleaned the motor. Oh, I didn't clean the motor pulley. Oops. Let's pull that back. Right, I'll get and do that, and then we'll put it back together. Pulley's clean. I knocked a bit of grease off there, so I've re-greased it. But I have to say the grease is really, really good. It's a relatively light graphite-based grease by the looks of it, which is great. There we go. Yes, that's a bit weird about that screw. I don't know what that's all about, because the other side it was loose as well, but that seemed to bite when I put it back in. Oops. Okay, so top belt. And then capstan belt. Nice clean pulley. Look at that. Yeah, see, that's got scratches on it as well, and I did not scratch that. So, yeah. I've seen that before. I just wonder if there's slight flaws in the manufacturing, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I scratched it and didn't realise. But that seems good. So, yeah, we are looking good. So the next thing I think is to clean these pinch rollers, which actually look fairly grim, to be honest. But I'm sure they're going to be okay. I can't see any problem with them at all. Clean the heads because they're really very grubby. And yeah, then we can put this back together. Hopefully we'll have a working deck. Give it an align. An alignment check and speed check, and it can go back to its original owner. Let's crack on. So both decks are good to go, or should be anyway, hopefully. Just had a thought about what the additional connector is on there. I think it's for to go from one deck to the other, but we'll see. I think it's sort of the trigger that once it goes through one tape for record, through one, well, even playback, to the end of the cassette and then back again, and then it triggers, then sends the trigger to start this one to go to the end, and then auto reverse. So that's my theory, but no doubt we'll find out. Let's crack on. Okay, so back together pretty much. Quick reminder of the screws. Self-tapping, self-tapping. These three are machine screws, so yeah, don't get muddled. And so I'll leave the fronts off for now for when we use the test tapes. And I think I've plugged everything in. I did manage to get that trapped when I pushed this in the connector there, but yeah, I realised before I pushed too hard. And yeah, we should be good to go. So what I'll do is we'll try just a normal cassette to start off with, and then we'll crack open the alignment cassettes and test tapes and see how it performs. Let's crack on. Okay, so here it goes. Let's give some power and well, that's a good start. Both decks seem to sort themselves out. So try fast forward first. Seems good. Let's wind it forward again. Sounding good. What happens if I press? Yeah, it won't stop pressing eject. That's fine. So that deck's all right so far, in theory. And then fast forward, rewind, play. It's looking good. So let's do first of all. Let's do it in this one. So forward and reverse torque. So this is just for fast forward and rewind. So yeah, that goes almost horizontal there. Rewind. A little bit more on rewind, that's fine. So that was getting up to, where would that have got? So it's about 80, about 100 grams. 80 and 80. So yeah, so it read higher on the rewind, which you'd actually expect. Let's try play. Yeah, it's about 80 and 80-ish. Okay, so let's see if these results are consistent. Yeah. Rewind. Which you can't really see. A little bit higher on rewind on this side, but that's fine. Yeah, it's consistent on playback as well, so that's really good. I will put, if it has in the manual what they should be, I will put them above my head now. I don't think it does actually, but they're healthy and consistent, and that's good. So let's have a look at the playback. Okay, so this is quite cool. It's actually got a space in the door there to actually see this, which is actually really neat. So you can actually see the tape playing. So that's the 18 micrometer. That's running pretty true. Looks a little bit all over the place on the left. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Turn the tape round. Yeah, I do wonder if I'm going to have to change those pinch rollers, you know. I mean, it's true enough. And I suppose the test will be with the... Yeah, can you see there's a little bit of wandering there? Let's try the thin tape. That'll be the giveaway. So this is 9. Here's just a tiny bit of wander. To be fair, I think there's still a bit of muck on the pinch roller, but it is wandering about a bit, so yeah, you see it's pushing down ever so slightly, maybe, I don't know actually. Let's try it again. Yeah, see it's pushing down this side. So yes, I'm going to have to change those pinch rollers, I think. Let's just have a look on the other side. Okay, so that's actually... Let's go a bit more light if we can. Yeah, you see a little bit of movement there. So yeah, and that's the thing, you can never see this. There's quite a bit of dust on that pinch roller actually. So let's try the thinner cassette. That actually doesn't look terrible. Oh, that, ooh. Well, that was going to chew it then. Yes, I'm going to have to change those pinch rollers. So, okay, well, that's no real biggie, I suppose. So, yeah, let's crack on. Well, I've changed them. Those are the originals, and I actually went for those ones. And they fit actually fine. The problem you can get, because they've got the extra plastic, sort of standing more proud than these, that can cause a problem. But they're actually a little bit narrower, but the actual width where the spindle goes through is the same. And I didn't take the deck out to do it. Not the easiest thing to show, but I just literally unclipped them very carefully out of the plastic holders. It came out quite easily. Swapped them over and pushed them back in, and yeah, they seem fine. So let's give it a test. If this is successful, then we'll do the other side. Okay, so I'll try a tape first, just to see what happens. And this is a little bit of a knock. Might have to investigate that. Okay, so let's try 18 micrometers. So if I actually get it the right height so you can see it. Oh, that's a lot better. Yeah, that's actually perfect. Oh, I know what that clunking is. I slightly contaminated the pinch roller because I used a pair of tweezers that wasn't clean. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, well, can I see where the I think the contamination's come off. Great. That's come off on the cassette. Not on the test cassette, thankfully. Oh, I forgot all about that. But it's fine, seems fine now. So, okay, let's use the 9. Yeah, much better. That's perfect. Excellent. Okay, so I'll do the same on this side. So like I say, all I did was just flick them out basically. Use tweezers. It wrecks the pinch roller, but the rubber is actually pretty perished. I suppose it stands to reason if the belts are, well, the one belt was like that, then these aren't going to be much better. So I'll flick these out and we'll take it from there. I really wouldn't recommend doing it the way I'm going to do it, which is why I'm not going to show it. I would take the deck out and actually take them off. Actually, you can, they're easy to take off the actual whole pinch roller assembly and then remove it with your fingers or whatever, or very carefully with a screwdriver. Yeah, I'm going to cheat, so I'll do that and we'll take it from there. So that's how not to do it. You'll notice that I put, well, you might have seen, I put a blade of a flat screwdriver, sort of moved the mechanism up so you could get the blade underneath the pinch roller assembly. Because you don't want to be pressing down. You don't need much force, but I use the butt of the tweezers just to press it in. But you obviously don't want to press too hard because you're going to break the plastic. So yeah, that should be all good. And yeah, we are somewhere very close to finishing this off. It's still very dusty, but I won't believe I just dusted that out. But anyway, let's crack on. Okay, so I'm going to go straight for the 9. That's pretty perfect. Brilliant. Chuffed with that. Okay, so I need to order some more of those pinch rollers, because I think I'm going to be using quite a lot of those. So super. But the next thing is to do some calibration of speed, well, speed checks, and yeah, also try and find out. I've got one self-tapping screw left, so yeah, I need to find out where on earth that lives. Let's crack on. Okay, so I'm just doing, well, checking tape speed at the moment, and you actually do it on the motor. There is actually what looks to be a tape speed adjustment. I'm sure that is, but the manual tells you to actually do it on the back of the panel, and you've got sorry, wrong ones. Tape speed adjust, normal, and the high speed. Have high speed copying, which is down. So the normal speed is that one, and the high speed is under there. Don't be misled by that pitch adjustment there. That can be adjusted, but that's when you turn the pitch on, and then tweak this so you can get it so when it's in the middle, it's playing at the right speed. So yeah, I'm just using my scope, and I've got the usual problems with this, throwing a bit of a wobbly sometimes, but each channel, so 6,000 hertz, it'll probably go, so it reckons, oh, that's a bit all over the place, isn't it? Yeah, so it reads high. It's quite interesting to see how the scope reacts, because if I rewind this, get it to the lower frequencies, so auto sets, so it should be 350, which it is near as damn it. 400. It's interesting, it's a tiny bit slower. I did get it bang on 400 before. There we go. And that seems okay. And then it'll start just not really working very well. So let's just rewind that. I haven't done the other deck yet. Oh. So the only thing I find with the cassette, it doesn't give you long. I know it's repeated. So it's 352, so that's a bit on the far side. So there we go. So let's just rewind that back. 350, bang on. And what we have on this side. Can't actually hear anything. Ah, 150. Oh. Yeah, it's pretty close. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's a bit noisy. To be honest, that's the scope more than anything. 250, that's fine. Yeah, so I'm happy with the speed. Am I going to do the high speed? That's a bit tricky to do. Especially as the tones are quite short. I suppose we can have a go. I need a cassette. I think I need a cassette to go in this one to... Yeah, so I can do a synchro recording. So I'll just dig out a cassette and we'll have a play. By the way, I sort of gave the game away a little bit. I was just trying this Finissi mini scope component test or whatever. I bought this because it was really cheap. It was on sale, and it was after Noel Higgins actually sort of said, "Oh, have you seen this? What do you think about it? Have you had a go?" And he was given one and found it terrible. And I will say, having read some reviews since getting it and seen some YouTube videos, it's not really very good. But I did find when I tried this, it did actually work quite well. Sort of giving me a decent frequency. It was pretty accurate and seemed to tie in with the other Finissi. So I don't know, but I'm sort of quite looking forward to comparing this with my Cheap and Cheerful component tester, which I'm so used to now. It's sort of I love that thing, even though it was really cheap. It's good enough. It tells me what I need to know. Okay, so I've got this TDK Brilliant cassette, and unfortunately it's got a paper label on the back, so it's not going to peel very well. I was quite interested to see what it actually said, but you can't get the label off. I think these are old stock as well. By the way, that's just come off. It sort of feels like it. So it's got a bit damaged in transit, the case, but the tape looks okay. Life on record. It's going to be a copy, isn't it? Let's have a look at the actual tape. Yeah, it's quite brown. Right, not very dark. Looks quite thin as well. And I don't know. What do you reckon? Do you reckon it's genuine? Do you reckon it's any good? Have you tried these? They're really cheap on Aliexpress, but I've been putting them on to get free postage on stuff. Okay, so normal high, What am I doing wrong? Oh, is it wanting to go? Play. So this one's on record, which is what you'd expect. No Dolby. Do I have to press? No. Oh, there we go. Take it off pause. Right, so it's actually a bit slow. Because that should be 1, and it's running at 1.93. Dubbing A to B. How do I calibrate the speed for B? Yeah, this is, scope's not behaving. 7, it should be 8. So it's running a bit slow on the high speed. I mean, ultimately they just need to be synchronized, so how I play that at high speed so I can test it. Dubbing A plus B. Start deck B. Yeah, it says there, start deck B, pause. Do I leave that alone? I'm tempted to just leave it alone. It seems to be running a bit slow on this side. I suppose one way to try it is rewind this, and make a copy of the cassette, and then see what the speeds are like. And if they're terrible, then I'll have to do something about it. But as long as it's, I mean, I'm not worried about it being double speed. I'm just worried about it making an accurate copy at the right speed. So it's a faithful reproduction. So okay, so I should be able to play that. So this is 1 hertz. Oh, frequency sweep, which actually looks pretty good. And this should be about 2. Well, it's 1.93. So left and right channel. So that's 30 seconds worth. And then we've got the reference flux Ampex domestic standard. 7.73. That should be about 4. So it is running slow, but is it consistent on both sides? If it's the same on both sides, let's stop it. Rewind it and to see how awful it is. I'm not expecting it to be perfect just because of the type of deck it is and how old it is. Yes, the blue is the right channel. We've got a frequency sweep. Okay. It's on ×1 the probes as well, so obviously it's not going to go that high. At 1,000 hertz. Well, it's a bit fluttery, but that's high speed. It's okay. It's not terrible. I mean, if you're going to make a copy, you don't do it at high speed. Yes, it's not bad. I'm fairly happy with that. I'm not going to fiddle because I think I'm just going to cause more problems than it's actually worth doing. Okay, so I suppose what I need to do now. I'm happy with azimuth. I suppose I could test that. But I am getting good response on both left and right channels, about the same. So I'm quite happy with that. I have cleaned the heads. I've done stuff. I've done stuff since last time. You can still see that head is still a little bit contaminated. The head itself's fine, but just on the edge there, on this side, you can see some muck. So I'll have to clean that. They were so mucky. It took me a lot of work to get those to where they are now. Pinch rollers seem fine, obviously. And I've demagnetized the heads as well. I have a demagnetizer. I've got it handy. See if I can do this without breaking stuff. So I've got one of these, which I've had quite a while now. And seems to do the trick quite nicely. Got it from a place in Germany off eBay, I think it was. And yeah, seems to do the trick. So I use that on video recorders as well. So I don't think I've ever shown, to be honest, but I do demagnetize the ace head as well. Or yeah, demagnetize. So yeah, it's I think we're about there. I haven't actually listened to it through headphones, which is always a good sort of double check, because if it doesn't sound good, then it's no good. But yeah, I'll give that head a bit of an extra clean, and then I'll unhook everything. These pinch rollers were terrible. I don't know whether I mentioned that in a previous segment. It's been a couple of days since I've been able to get back to actually looking at this machine. But yeah, the rubber is really starting to fail. It's just, you almost feel it wants to be tacky. So yeah, it's sort of on the way out. So they needed doing. But yeah, pretty pleased with this, to be honest. It seems to work okay. Yeah, it's nice to sort of have it calibrated as well. So yeah, like I say, we'll try a cassette and take it from there. So I've already calibrated deck A, let's do a calibration on deck B. So deck B. Super. So I've just set the pitch. I don't know if you can hear that, but basically with this in the center position, I can flick that and nothing happens. The tone stays the same. And just needed a very slight tweak on the pitch, just slightly up. The main problem is this doesn't actually quite line up. So that's made it a bit interesting, but it's sort of the whole button is slightly to the right of the dot when it's straight up. But yeah, that's fine. I mean, ultimately it's pitch control, isn't it? So yeah, but that's pretty well calibrated as well. So that's something else done. Okay, so let's get this back together. Just tried a cassette on it. Pre-recorded one. Oops. Just tried a pre-recorded cassette, and yeah, it's lovely, really nice. So it'll need a clean, which I will do in the fullness of time. I'll get the top on, and we'll give it a test with the cassette. Okay, so all back together and cleaned up, which is really cool. I can still see a little bit of muck in there, but I'll clean that out now I've seen it. Look quite deep, those little bits there, so yeah, I'll have to get a bit creative to clean that out, but that's fine. So let's put my Sennheiser HD25s in, and I'm going to put that Brilliant cassette in there, TDK Brilliant, and you might have seen a short where I've opened this as it's sort of arrived with me. Lady Gaga's latest album, Mayhem, and this was really difficult to get a hold of. I wanted the cassette because I listen to cassettes quite a bit while I'm sort of doing stuff, and yeah, I sort of quite like this album, so thought, right, I'll buy the cassettes, but it was actually really difficult to get a hold of. And what was really amazing was it's made in the UK. I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, I was really quite impressed, and the shrink wrap it actually had made in the UK across the top there. So the cassette itself, you sort of see the stress marks there from where it's been manufactured, which is quite odd. That's almost a crack, but yeah, I've played it a few times and it's quite good. So let's press play. Obviously no Dolby. Dolby is long since gone as a thing, so yeah, it's pointless doing it, but yeah, let's do dubbing, and we're just doing normal. So there we go. and I want to see what it's like. I'll probably put in the description what the recording actually came out like. But yeah, and it'll sound a bit weird because obviously I've got it going through my capture box as well. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this one. There's definitely something a bit different. And yeah, I'm really pleased that it's come out so well. I mean, what it needs now is use, just to get everything sort of working again, moving properly. It'll help stabilize the speed a little bit more as well, because there's just that tiny bit of fluctuation that I was picking up on the scope. I mean, listening to it you wouldn't know, but there's obviously a little bit of wound flutter there, very, very slight. I'd love to have a wound flutter meter. In fact, I probably will at some point put some software on the PC to do wound flutter, and we'll look at that again on the next tape deck I do. But I'm happy with this. It sounds great, and what a great piece of kit. I sort of am really warming to the sort of early noughties Sony audio kit. It's just really, really good. So yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed this one. It's obviously something a bit different, and you know, it's my first time playing about with those calibration cassettes as well, and viewing cassettes. That's the mirrors. That I just thought that was brilliant, having those for this. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that as well, and no doubt I'll feature in future videos. I've got a couple more tape decks to do in the fullness of time. Including one that doesn't look anything like a tape deck. So with that, thank you very much for watching. A like and a subscribe would be absolutely fantastic. Channel's starting to really get a bit of growth to it now, which I really, really appreciate so much. So yeah, I shall look forward to seeing you in another video. Bye for now.